My ex-boyfriend broke up with me because of my number of bodies. We've only met in December, but I became really attached to him. He found out about my number of bodies in the beginning of January. His is low, 3 including myself. Mine is in double digits and higher than most people's. We are both 24 years old. He initially broke up with me after he found out, and I was more or less okay with that. People have preferences and it's okay. He then came back a day later and we got back together. Even though he came back, it was always on his mind. I tried my best to reassure him. The worst thing is I do really regret my past. I hate myself for being so hedonistic. If I had a time machine, I would have saved myself for him. We had our ups and downs. I was trying to be as transparent and genuine, and it seemed like we were working through it. A week ago he said that he doesn't see me as worthy of marriage. That broke me because he knew that I don't see the point in having a committed relationship if building a family is not the final destination. He then said that the past couple of months he decided to emotionally check out and that he was only with me for the lovemaking. I was so heartbroken. I was literally screaming because of the pain, but the worst has yet to come. I asked to see him one last time. I've never seen him so cruel. He called me a slut, and he made fun of me with extremely cruel jokes. I feel so conflicted because I feel like I deserve that. I totally changed my mind about casual intimacy, and at this point I became totally disgusted by lovemaking overall. I am an extremely loyal person. I love this guy so much that I feel like I just can't be with anybody else. I hate myself so much because I messed up. If only I could keep my legs closed, I would have been happy with him. I lost the chance to be with the love of my life over some meaningless intimacy in the past. I got an angry text from my child's father's wife about him spending money on us. I met this man at work when I was 21, he was 30, he was my first relationship and I ended up pregnant. We broke up when our son was 2 and he's now 10. He got married 5 years ago and has 2 small children. It might seem weird, but he's kept that part of his life very separate from our son and I. I've never met his wife or his other children, and neither has my son. My son doesn't spend nights with him. This is something his father and I both agree on. I don't want my son feeling like the odd one out. His dad sees him a couple evenings after work and on the weekend. Usually it's just them, but occasionally the 3 of us do something together. He's not on child support, but he provides for our son financially. My son gets him less than his other kids, so he compensates how he can. My son has a PlayStation 5, a new iPhone, an expensive bike. His dad gives him Roblox money and Lego sets whenever he asks. He reimburses me for buying him nice clothing and shoes. He pays for his school and sports. I get the occasional gift, and it's usually flowers. He gives me more on a special occasion like Christmas or my birthday. Once in a while he'll take me shopping as a thank you for being a good mom. We don't make love, and this is the subject of this text I got from his wife, someone I've never communicated with. What she wrote: I know we don't know each other, but I'm tired of keeping my mouth shut. You are a sick woman for doing what you do. He is married. You had your chance and lost him. You're sleeping with a married man. He's not yours just because you had his kid. A kid you used to take his money. My kids are his legitimate children and don't have half of what he buys your son. Why? Because I can't bribe him with lovemaking. You have no right to take gifts from my husband or have him in your house. I watch what he spends, so don't ever think I don't know what's going on. You're not half as slick as you think you are. You aren't going to take him from me. I have no idea what even to think. I did not expect this after years of no communication. I'm very uncomfortable. My husband laid his hands on me for texting while driving. My 4-year-old has a high fever. My older son had practice last night and asked me to stay and watch him like I often do. At first I said no because I have to take care of his little brother, but my husband told me to go and said he'd take care of our son. He told me it would be good for me to have a few hours out of the house, so I went because I didn't want to disappoint my older son. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I get overwhelming anxiety sometimes. I was so worried about leaving my sick son. I texted my husband the whole practice. On the way home we were in slow traffic and I was feeling sick with worry. I texted my husband about our son. I just needed reassurance. My heart was literally pounding. My husband responded, "Are you driving?" So I put my phone away. When I got home my husband took my wrist and led me to our bedroom, and he slapped me. I was caught completely by surprise. He said, "You had my child in the car, how dumb are you?" I started to sob. I said I was sorry and I told him how I lose my mind with anxiety. He said he won't let me hurt myself. I've been crying on and off since this happened. I know I did endanger our son, so how could I blame my husband? He's never touched me like that before. I feel exhausted and hate myself right now. I'm immune to the chemical urushiol and poison ivy and used it to protect myself and mess with my abusive family. Growing up, I lived in a very abusive household, constant yelling, threats, swearing, calling me every female and gay slur there is. They'd even threatened to get rid of my pets, and they did a few times. I wasn't allowed house keys and had to take the bus home. It was 3 hours before anyone came home. In the winter, I'd have to sit in the doghouse with the dogs to stay warm. It was in the country. I stayed outside in the woods to avoid my family. This is where I discovered that I have no reaction to poison ivy. I don't have reaction to the chemical component urushiol that's found in poison ivy, poison oak, and poison sumac. I can roll on it, rub it on my skin, lick it, nothing happens. I took poison ivy and rubbed it all over my room. I knew that we were going through my stuff. Them getting rashes was proof. I decided to rub it on spots they commonly sat in. Watching them itch was very satisfying. After being left out of another family vacation, and being told that no one wanted me, it felt like the final straw. I was 10 and left alone for 4 days. I gathered a bunch of poison ivy and poison oak and hand-squeezed the oils out of the plant. I collected the oil and added the oil to all the shampoo, conditioner, and perfumes they used. Holy crap, they went through a couple months of misery with rashes and couldn't figure out why. We all used the same product and I was fine. So they figured it wasn't the shampoo or conditioners. They thought they developed an allergic reaction to the perfumes and never wore it again. It was so hard to keep a straight face and not burst out laughing. Maybe it was eczema, maybe it was a new food allergy, was it shingles or scabies? They couldn't figure it out. The shampoo and conditioner eventually ran out and they were back to normal. They still haven't figured it out. They never suspected me because they thought I was too beaten down and dumb to do something that elaborate. I also rubbed myself in poison ivy so when even they shoved me they got a decent dose of urushiol.
My wife spent my birthday out with her friends. I've posted here many times about issues I've had with my wife, most commonly with regards to her subservience to her best friend turned sister-in-law. She's promised to try and work on this, given how much it's impacted our marriage, but today I think we passed the point of no return. You see, today is my birthday. It's past midnight now though. This morning my daughter, who is nearly 4, gave me huge hugs and kisses which was great. My wife gave me a card, and told me that my gift hadn't arrived in the post yet. My suspicion is that she's yet to order it, or ordered it late, whatever it may be. I then logged into my work, and did my shift like any other day. My wife was off work while my daughter was at my mum's for a visit. Nothing special was planned for the evening, because there were plans in place already, just that those plans didn't include me. Sister-in-law and a couple of my wife's other friends had arranged to go out for dinner and drinks, because a voucher sister-in-law had for a particular restaurant expired soon, and my birthday was the only date they could all make. Crappy, right? Gets better though, because my wife made a big social media post wishing me a happy birthday, saying how crap it was that I had to work all night on my birthday. A complete lie, but it does make her look less bad in public for not spending my birthday with me. The issue is, because she's done this, I now couldn't make plans with friends or family without exposing her lie. So yeah, great birthday. When I think about how she'd react if I had pulled half the crap she has pulled, I can't see it ending any other way than me getting screamed at, even though she's chosen to spend my birthday with sister-in-law instead of me. On the plus side, I did some Warhammer painting after I collected my daughter and played with her a bit before bed. She also asked why mummy wasn't here, which kind of crushed me. Am I wrong to be annoyed about this? Today I messed up by getting my girlfriend high. I don't even really know where to start, but here's my best shot. I, 24 male, and my girlfriend, 23 female, were hanging out at home as we usually do during the week. Both go to work, have good jobs, come home and spend time together. I'm an avid Zaza consumer, and her not so much, but it's Monday night, not much going on, and she decides she wants to do the Zaza with me. I have different types of wax that I like, and one is clear distillate which is around 96% THC, so I lay both containers on the table, get a movie going, and go to get some snacks. Her trying to set the mood gets exposed, and takes a Rick Ross-sized dab of the distillate. Terrible idea. I tell her she has about 4 minutes before she's immobilized, and sure enough, 2 minutes later she's in the bathroom sick. I bring her water and do all the necessary things, but she asks me to leave the bathroom as she's getting really sick vomiting. So I go back to the living room and watch TV, checking in once in a while. This whole time I never noticed her phone sitting on the couch until she started getting numerous texts and Snapchat notifications. My curiosity gets the best of me and I look, and she has 3 male co-workers on Snapchat that are all texting her after hours. Odd, sure, but I blow it off as work friends, until I looked in her memories. One particular co-worker, we'll call him Greg, has a bunch of selfies in her memories, some with her, some without. So I open their messages and oh my god, staring back at me is an exchange of exposed photos and even videos that he had recorded of them and sent to her for keeping. You can imagine the context of such videos. I'm heartbroken, sure, but I've been cheated on before and knew I could get through it. What horrifies me is the size of this guy's schlong. I've never seen anything so massive. It looked like a half-used roll of paper towels. One of the videos consisted of her slobbing the knob and she could barely get around it. Seriously, this dude isn't hung like a horse. Horses are hung like him. I'm so ashamed and embarrassed that this has been going on, and I have actually come into her work and had conversations with these people who are messing around with my girlfriend. Today I messed up by wearing noise-canceling headphones while self-pleasuring. I, 19 male, am staying at my college dorms for the coming summer as I signed up for some summer classes. My college opened up my building for summer students, so I got lucky and got to stay in mine. All semester long I had a roommate, but now that he was gone for the summer I could use the place to myself. I had also just got some noise-canceling headphones, so I was excited to fire up some Shakira videos and have a nice long wank session. I got 3 monitors so I can really get into the zone. No, before the dorms are given to the students for the summer there was supposed to be a room inspection. This was supposed to take place yesterday. They have been reminding us about it for about a month, but I forgot. As I was self-pleasuring yesterday I was sat in my computer chair, headphones on with the door towards the back side on my left. Towards me getting really into it I felt a gust of wind and a slight change in light in my room for a couple of seconds, but I didn't pay much attention to it. This morning I woke up and met up with some friends who are also staying for the summer. They asked about my room inspection, and I said no one came to my room. They found that strange and said theirs happened at 3 p.m., which was right around the time I was doing my thing. Reddit, do you think I didn't have the inspection, or do you think someone opened my door and saw me doing the deed? The inspection is run by my RA, this cute blonde, and I am honestly desperately hoping she did not open my door. She didn't come right, just need some peace of mind.
Today I messed up. I introduced my boyfriend to Minecraft. Background: I have a long-term partner and a boyfriend of over a year. My partner is on the asexual spectrum. We're really good together except for the bedroom. He was never this bad when we started, but his drive got lower and lower till it was a few times a year. This was causing resentment on my end and frustration, form constant asking on his end. So, as a solution, we opened the relationship for me. My boyfriend is really nice and he and my partner have become friends. My boyfriend and I take any opportunity we can to get intimate as we both live with other people, so either I go to his when his roommate is away or he comes to mine when I'm alone. That brings us back to today, or should I say the past month. For my birthday I wanted to play Minecraft. My boyfriend didn't like the game. He made it clear it's not his kind of game, and made it clear he's playing it because of us. We started playing, all three of us, at first when we'd get alone time and we'd spend it playing Minecraft. I didn't think too much of it, but when I sat there throwing hints, saying, everyone will be back in 2 hours, and then playing bedroom songs, and he still wasn't moving, I knew I messed up. My partner had come home by then, and by this point I said, screw it, I'm taking care of myself, and went upstairs. Currently, the two of them are downstairs playing Minecraft and I've gone back to being in a relationship with my toys. I messed up Reddit, I messed up. He catfished me, but turned out to be the greatest guy I've ever met. So I met this guy online, right? We got to talking and he was just my type. He starts sending me these old pics of him, all trim and fit like he's fresh out of a Men's Health magazine. Of course, I was stoked. I mean, who wouldn't be, right? We hit it off pretty well. He's got the jokes, the brains, and supposedly, the bod. Fast forward a couple of weeks, we finally decide to meet up. I'm picturing this athletic hunk walking in and sweeping me off my feet, but when I see him, let's just say, the dude in front of me was about double the size of the man in the photos. I won't lie, I was taken aback, my jaw almost hit the floor, but there's this thing about him, you know? I was already kinda hooked on his personality, his charm, his wit, so, I thought to myself, let's see where this goes. So, we proceed with the date, and I kid you not, it was the best date I've ever had. He was nothing short of a true gentleman. He had this fantastic sense of humor that kept me laughing till my sides hurt. The way he cared, the attention he paid to me, the way his eyes lit up when I spoke, it was also endearing. What struck me the most was how gently he treated me. His touch was like a feather, always so careful as if he was afraid he might break me. And the details, oh my god, the details. He remembered every little thing I had told him, even the smallest and most insignificant ones from our chats weeks ago. It was uncanny, but also incredibly sweet. Now here I am, sitting alone, and all I can think about is when I'll get to see him again. I mean, yeah, he did catfish me initially, but then he's turned around and completely rocked my world. Who'd have thought, right? I'm excited to see what's next.
My fiancé won't marry me if I get a prenup. I, 43 male, am a doctor. Becoming a doctor took me 15 years after high school. I chased the profession only because of the salary and prestige that came with it. My father has worked hard all his life and owns a lot of properties and businesses. I'm set to inherit these valuable assets. I proposed to my fiancé, who's 39 and currently unemployed, about 2 months ago. We've been living together for a year, and the wedding preparations have started. As we began discussing the actual ceremonies and other details, I brought up the topic of a prenup. Her response was an immediate and firm no. She insisted that what I earn is what we make together and that we should share everything. I've spent countless hours on Reddit, reading story after story of people losing everything in a divorce, and it's made me wary. I can't shake the feeling that I need a prenup to feel secure. It doesn't help that I'm starting to wonder if she's more interested in my money than me. Whenever I buy her gifts, her first question is about the price. She demands designer accessories or clothes, and I've found myself cutting back on gifts for her, reserving them for special occasions like Christmas, birthdays, or anniversaries. Personally, I don't see the appeal of designer labels. To me, spending money on high-end brands feels like a waste. Back to the prenup issue. Every time I bring it up, she flatly refuses. The strange part is that I'm fine with not being married. She's the one who suggested marriage, not me. I'm completely comfortable with staying engaged for the rest of our lives if that's what it takes. But I'm at a crossroads now and just need some advice on how to proceed. Should I just go ahead with the wedding without putting anything on paper? Or should I stand firm and not marry her at all until a prenup is signed? I want to do what's right for both of us, but I also want to protect myself. I love her, but I can't ignore the red flags.